This is part of Sugarloaf Craft Festival. And if you want to check out that whole video, please tap the link in the video or in the description below. See guys, they make glass.
Have you seen this before?
No?
It's cool, right?
Alright, now I've got enough glass to make my piece. Just letting it cool down in the air, letting more glass come off the pipe. If I stop turning, it'll droop down. I'm going to force the glass off of the steel, that way I have more glass on my piece. I roll it nice and smoothly. And make it more symmetrical by touching the tip and then cooling the very outside of the glass. And I can take the pipe, trap a little bit of air with my thumb, and it's gonna cause that bubble to come in there real nice.
Boyle's law of physics, where there's air trapped in the pipe, the hot glass makes the air expand, and since he had the mouthpiece covered, it pushed into the malleable material as it expanded.
Give it a little bit more volume. There we go. And as I rotate, I can make my bottom nice and flat.
Working in the cold like this, is that a big challenge?
Absolutely. It cools down the glass a lot faster than normal. Gives me a lot less time to work with our glass. There we go. It's going to sit flat. I don't want it to bulge out too much.
You know it's from experience?
Say again?
How do you know
When
it's
I
from-
rotate, I can feel it pushing against the tool. If it's not pushing, it feels nice and smooth, I know it's level. I'm going to take a little bit of glass, put it at the end of this solid pipe. And it's going to act as a little glue bit. Right on center, and as I turn, I can make sure it's nice and trued up. Take a little bit of water, put it on our connection line. You can see it cracks the glass. It's in a small vibration, comes right off. I heated them up. Now I can take my shears and start cutting right into it. Make sure this goes in the bucket. There we go. I'm left with a much thinner and even lip, which I can now heat up. I'm going to touch the very top of it, make sure it's flat. Yep. See, it's nice and hot up top. Get on center, and then as I turn, I can start opening up that vessel. And so this was just a practice cup. We're about to start a demo in just a minute. So I'm going to recycle this glass. It's nice and clear. So to recycle it, we put a little bit of water on that fragile connection.
We're waiting for them to blow the glass. And now it's almost the time.
Yes.
If you put the glass in there, is it gonna break?
It's liquid glass in there. It's like a puddle of water. Solid glass is like ice. You can melt and freeze the glass as many times as you want. We have about 30 pounds of liquid clear glass inside of our furnace already. This furnace has been running since yesterday when it stopped raining. We go through about 100 pounds of propane a day. like one of those big torpedoes. Now it looks yellowish orange, but that's just because it's very hot. And over here I've got a can with some pulverized colored glass in it. Different colors, purples and green, different blues. My glass is hot enough that as soon as I touch into it, they start to melt lightly and stick onto the surface. You can already see them starting to get a little darker, glowing a little reddish. As they're absorbing that heat, they're melting. So I get a little bit more on there. The surface is still hot enough to pick up more glass. I'm going to melt this in and do one more application of that color. These are roughly 2,000-year-old glass blowing techniques. The Romans were the first to figure out how to blow glass about 2,000 years ago. The Egyptians were the first to make glass about 4,000 years ago. The Romans were the first to have furnaces that were hot enough to allow them to keep a liquid reservoir of glass thanks to their military. Now I have a nice even saturation of this color. When it comes out, it's going to be glowing kind of reddish orange, and we're going to start inflating it. So I'm just going to roll this a little bit. It all moves down, straightens up. You can see it gets pretty dark immediately as it comes in contact with the steel, which drains a lot of heat away from the material. So I try to shape the glass using the air and gravity and use the steel table as little as possible. Now that I have an even shape, I can blow really hard. Tap my finger over the mouthpiece, and the hot glass will make the air inside the pipe expand. As it does so, see it's starting to get a little bigger and rounder. Now there's a bubble. It is, at this point, blown glass. I'm compacting my bubble a little bit, just to give it a little more structure. I'm going to go back into my reservoir and put a little bit more of that 2,000 degree clear glass right over top of it. A lot of our different colors and patterns are built up in layers in this way. Glass, as most people recognize, is mostly silica. A lot of people say that if you melt sand, you can get glass, and that's not inaccurate. Sand is very commonly abundant in silica, but sand is going to vary by content geographically. The glass that we're using is the soda lime glass. Soda ash, when introduced to silica, will lower the melting temperature to about 1,300 degrees instead of 10,000 degrees. But it'll make the glass water soluble, which isn't really functional for any purpose. That's where the lime comes in. It raises the melting point back to about 1,700 degrees and creates a really nice formula of glass, both for working and for clarity. There are many other formulas and different types of glass manufactured for different purposes. Now I know that I'm going to get a little bit more of that clear glass than I actually want, so I can let the extra run right off. You can see the colored bubble isn't moving at all. So that's uncontaminated clear glass, and that can go right back into our reservoir. There you go. Letting the temperature balance out between the different layers of glass that I have. That little puck goes right back in, gets another chance to be something else later. You saw that that colored bubble wasn't moving in the core of all that big drippy mess. So I'm letting that heat soak back into the core. When I come out, it'll all be moving cohesively as one mass.
Is it more challenging to do this in cool weather?
It is. You can really only heat the glass to a certain point before you lose control of it. and you can only let the glass cool to a certain point before it breaks. So working outdoors, you're compressing that range. You have less and less time to shape the glass. And as it gets thinner and less insulated, it becomes more and more difficult to control keeping the glass in that range. We have a lot of experience working outdoors. A lot of glass blowers would think that's just chaotic and unnecessary. But we like blowing bubbles and bringing 2,000-degree glass to different venues where people wouldn't normally expect it. So now that I have all the glass moved out, evenly incorporated together, I can start to inflate it. And it's generally evenly round at this point. As I'm shaping almost any vessel, I'm working from the top down. So I want to make sure that the glass is going to inflate where I want it. Always going to inflate where it's hotter. That's going to be the path of least resistance. So we take a moment to cool what will be the very bottom of the bowl. That way when I go to blow into the top half of the bowl that's stretching and getting thinner, the bottom half stays a little more structural. Gauging it while you're on the pipe is a little difficult. You can always blow more and add more air, but you can't really take the air out that you've already put in there. I'm starting to squeeze in a constriction here. This will give me somewhere to break my bowl free from the blowpipe later in the process. You can see that we have a pretty short window to shape the glass when it goes from really hot and drippy to not moving at all. Squeezing that constriction tighter will give me a cleaner break later. Angling out into the bowl pushes the belly out, making it wider. And the metal tools cool the very bottom, making it stiffer, so that once again I can blow. Keep it generally even and round. I'm gonna let it sit back, get a little squatter. I want to cap the mouthpiece when I hold it up, otherwise that pressure would just collapse. It needs to have some positive pressure to support the shape. Okay? The bowl itself is generally set. I want to add an additional foot as a design element. Okay, you should take this.
Yep.
Some foot. Thank you. Keep it on there. Pretty warm. Wanting this shape one more time. Okay, trade me. Thank you. Deep flash.
Great honor from above.
From the top.
Gotcha. Good?
Yep. Rip, touch, push, cut. Wish. Yep, that's some of the beeswax we use as a lubricant on our tools, burning off.
Okay, sorry.
That's what this little block of butter looking is.
I know, right?
Okay, honey. Now that the foot's flat, we've gone as far down as we can go. So we're just going to collect a little bit more glass out of our reservoir, this time on a solid pipe. Make what's called a punty, which will be attaching to the bottom of the bowl, breaking it off at the constriction, then flipping it open to be able to flipping it over to shape the open half. If anybody has any questions, feel free to just shout them out.
glass gonna melt?
It is melted right now. It's in a semi-liquid viscous state. So it's neither solid nor liquid, but a little bit of both. A light connection here. Make sure that we have a generally straight alignment among the two pipes. Stand up straight. Hanging. Now it takes a little bit of water to drip onto the constriction at the top. It freezes the glass very aggressively, making it brittle, so that when I send a little vibration into the metal, it breaks right off.
You see that? Did you see that?
It's cold enough to not move. So he's only putting heat into areas he wants to manipulate. The rest he lets get cold. That way he doesn't move.
Making sure everything is still straight. There we go. Now I'm directing more heat to the top half than the bottom half.
No?
The top half is what I want malleable. But I do still have to go all the way in periodically to maintain that minimum 1,000-degree temperature. The glass at the top will be that much closer to 2,000 degrees. So the pipes are made from a high carbon steel, which makes them denser than normal steel. That's going to make it so around where you can see the pipe stop getting shiny, that top section is very hot. And we're taught at the beginning where to handle the pipes and where not to. It's so dense that instead of conducting the heat back, it conducts out to the open air. You can see the top half is glowing, it's much hotter. We never anticipate for it to break perfectly even off the blowpipe, so I'm going to start pulling on it.
Matthew, just walk what you can.
There we go, I can get in there. Pulling on it and stretching, which makes it a little taller, but we're doing this for the purpose of thinning the glass. As it's stretching, it's getting thinner. It also creates really clumsy looking tool marks at the top. That's extra glass, it won't be necessary. So we heat it up a little softer. As soon as I come out from this heat, we start a lift press. One gather that we can on that bit rod. No more. One heavy roll heat, second heavy roll done. Thank you. Now I've got a little pair of scissors or shears, and I can go back in and trim away the uneven marks of the glass. That's going to give me a much cleaner and thinner lip. That's perfect. The stretch. Much thinner lip than I would have otherwise had.
What are you going to do with the scrap glass? Remelt it?
Well, if it has color, we have no way of separating the color from the clear.
Okay.
If it was all clear, it could go right back into the furnace. But glass is infinitely remeltable. Sometimes we repurpose that glass with some of the solid sculptures we have at the front of the display.
Okay.
More commonly, we send that out for industrial recycling like the rest of the bottles and cans, and they can be melted down into large commercial tanks. From there, they'll take little samples, determine what purpose they need the glass for and what additives, certain fluxes or other materials to get the formula that they need. It may not need the same level of clarity that our glass has.
You want to still see it? Okay. You want to still see it?
Ready for you. You want to come from the front, that's fine. Okay.
Keep your eyes carrying.
So he's got a little bit of extra glass on his pipe. It's the same yellow we used in the foot.
Ready?
Yep. Dump it. Touch this onto the top of the bowl. We can coil it around to add a good accent that'll match the foot. we're just going to build and build heat in the top of the bowl and start to stretch it open pretty quickly and aggressively. Nope. One quick move, stretches pretty quick. Balancing out that minimum temperature, making sure nothing is below 1,000 degrees. And then we build more and more heat at the top of the bowl. Starts to spin open. And then we let it drape and collect those ruffles. Commonly called a handkerchief bowl or a wavy bowl, but it's a nice fluid vessel. And while everything is still over 1,000 degrees now, we just want to add one little dot of water to the bottom of this connection point. Make sure it's nice and brittle, right where we want it. One little tap, comes right off. And now we're going to put it away into a 900 degree oven, which is hot enough for the glass to not break, cold enough for it to not lose its shape, and over about 12 hours overnight, that oven will cool to room ambient temperature, and in the morning the colors will look accurate. It'll be bright yellow and different shades of blue. It'll be fully functional. Other glass that we're making today, the smaller vessels in between the scheduled demonstrations, are being cooled in our conveyor system, and they're going to be available about 2 hours after you watch those demonstrations take place. If anybody has any questions, come on up, have a little chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Philip Valencia, for letting us record of how he makes glass. I hope you guys had fun watching. So that's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.
Bye everyone.
I hope you had fun.
Sending trip.
Look at the pumpkins.
When we were in
Black and white.
Vancouver, there was a gas blower, a glass blower. I was like,